Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to another video all about stuff that's been found on the PTR. Hey, someone actually went and did a data mine session on the PTR and found some interesting voice lines at the very least. Let's start with the stuff that is, shall we say, less controversial. So to begin with, it looks like we're going to be getting a new map set in Germany at least. Reinhardt has some lines about it, and there's some like Oktoberfest based lines, so either we're going to have a map in Germany, I hope we have a map in Germany, that's going to be really cool. And he also has a line that references Lord of the Rings where he says, "This is not a castle, it's a tomb," in his sort of very deep, bassy way. It's really, really exciting. I love that voice line. Anyway, new map, hopefully coming fairly soon. New maps are great, like, I want new maps. We've been playing on these current stock of maps for a long time. Having new maps just keeps lifeblood in the game, keeps it interesting, keeps it varied, so looking forward to that. It was good during the beta that we seem to get new maps pretty regularly during the beta period, so hopefully that sort of schedule continues. You know, every 2-3 months just drop a new map on us, and hopefully it's a good map. Like, they're learning at the very least, I imagine. They're getting better and better with the new maps that are coming out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Also looks like a bunch of seasonal things went into the game. So Tracer, for example, has a voice line that goes, "Oh, scary," which is, you know, in reference to like, I guess, Halloween themed skins. For example, like, you know, there's the picture of Mercy and Torbjorn. I can put it on screen if you don't know what I mean, where they're sort of dressed up in Halloween gear. So I imagine we're going to be getting Halloween skins fairly soon. Hopefully they don't go too nuts with those. Like, the one thing that I like about Overwatch so far is the skins are all fairly reined in. They're not too crazy. I think the craziest ones are like the Soldier 76 Daredevil ones, you know, where he's sort of, you know, in the American jumpsuit kind of stuff, or the Torbjorn pirate skin. Like, those are kind of out there, but that's about as far as I want to go. I do not want like Candy Cane Torbjorn. And I know people have been asking for it because there's the Candy Cane, I think it's Magni Bronzebeard, the Mountain King in Heroes of the Storm, and that's just too far out there, you know, that's just a bit too silly. Just rein it in a tiny bit from that. Let's not go too crazy here, otherwise it starts just getting really chaotic and clustered, and you end up with the Team Fortress 2 situation. But definitely cool seasonal voice lines, like there's Genji saying like, "Merry Christmas," and that's literally how he says it. I'm not being racist. Please don't leave angry comments. Anyway, there's also sorry voice lines as well. There's a Widowmaker sorry voice line which he goes, "Désolé," and it's so sarcastic and beautiful, and I love it so much because it's so smug. It's wonderful. Anyway, the big thing that was found also was a number of voice lines referring to an invisible hero. McCree, for example, saying, "Well, I can't see ya, but I know you're there." That's my McCree impression, by the way. I bet it's like Matt Mercer's really in the voice call. No, he's not. He's doing American things. Anyway, so it looks like we might be getting a stealth hero. Now, this is probably going to be Sombra. It just makes sense. It ties nicely into the lore. So for those of you who aren't aware, and if you aren't aware about the lore, happy news for you. I'm going to be starting to do a lore series. I've actually hashed out a weekly schedule. I'll put that up in an update video fairly soon, I imagine. But we're going to be doing some lore videos fairly soon. But in Mexico, what happened during the Omnic Crisis was the power grid basically got taken down. That's why Lumerico has those big ziggurats all over the place. They're power plants to basically re-establish Mexico's power grid and make sure that everyone has the lights on. I imagine Sombra has something to do with that, and so has a theme around, you know, darkness and that kind of stuff. Might be a villain character. I hope they are. There's a lack of villains in Overwatch right now. There's just really like Reaper and Widowmaker for serious villains, and then you have the Junkers for sort of the more chaotic evil, anarchist kind of evil. So definitely hoping that Sombra is some kind of villain, but it seems like Sombra is going to have some kind of stealth ability. Now that put a lot of people into a panic, because a lot of people out there don't like stealth in first-person shooters. I actually don't mind it. I really like the Spy in Team Fortress 2. I think he has a very niche role, and it kind of falls apart at high level. But it's fun. I find it fun, and I know a lot of people don't. What I don't want in Overwatch is the backstab. I don't mind stealth. What I don't want is a backstab, because I don't think it fits in Overwatch. I think that the health values in Overwatch are way more disparate than they are in Team Fortress 2, so having that one-shot kill on a hero that is, you know, will work on people's backs, and like Reinhardt's back is so big, Roadhog's back is so big, Diva's back is so big, that it just doesn't work. And also on 20 tick, the servers can't manage a backstab, Blizzard. Like, please no, don't try that. So what would I want to add of a stealth ability? Well, what I imagine this is going to work like is, I imagine the stealth ability is going to be in some way tied with the ultimate. And the reason I say that is because of the voice line. Because when you put a Symmetra teleporter down, then you'll have someone, you know, you'll hear your character say a voice line saying, "There's a teleporter around here somewhere." That's, again, that's not Matt Mercer, that's me doing a McCree impression. I know it's hard to tell. But you get that voice line, you get that indication that, hey, this ultimate's gone off, you might want to go find the teleporter. And I imagine it's going to be the same thing for Sombra. When the stealth ultimate goes off, the character's going to say a voice line saying, "Hey, there's a stealth hero around somewhere, be ready for it." So it's not a complete surprise, but it's going to be part of it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think and how you guys think that stealth could be implemented into the game. This is an old discussion. Like, back before Genji was unveiled to the world, we expected Genji to have stealth, like a lot of people did. And the reason why is because, well, you think of a ninja, right? You think of a ninja and you think, like, throwing down smoke grenades, like he does at the end of Dragons. Like, he puts down a smoke grenade and vanishes into thin air. That's a ninja thing to do. And so Blizzard are very good at playing up to archetypes. And you think with a ninja, he's going to be stealthing in and out and doing stuff like that. But I imagine they just didn't find it worked very well. Couldn't make stealth work as well as they couldn't make melee work. So, hey, they decided to leave it for a later date. Now, what I want out of a stealth hero is someone who can probably break choke points and break sieges, just forcing the enemy team to reposition. Not so much kill everyone, but just force them to reposition. So what I would like to see, what I imagine this working as, like, I'm trying to think of how you would make this work and how you would make a stealth hero viable. The first thing you can't do is make them lethal, in my mind. If you make them lethal, they have to be so squishy that they become super volatile, and then if they get tons of kills, then great, but otherwise if they get caught, then they're instantly dead. And that's just too binary in my mind. That's just not interesting or exciting or fun. The way I would do it is try and force a way to make them reposition. You know, have it so that you can perhaps get behind a Reinhardt barrier and then shut down the Reinhardt barrier. Maybe that could be an interesting way of doing things. You know, the thing that you want out of stealth heroes is the ability to break choke points and break clumped up groups of heroes coming at them from an unexpected angle. So I imagine it'll be very important to have this kind of thing on offensive. I'm thinking like stuff like Temple of Anubis, for example, where everyone's just clustered together, they're all defending from a single direction, you have to try and get into them. Having something that isn't a Genji and Tracer that just has to sort of dash past them is going to be important. At least that's how I would do it. What I imagine as well is something just more utility-based and less damage-based. Maybe like even having like clouds of darkness that, you know, hey, the enemy struggles to see out of or struggles to position in. Maybe it does damage over time when they're stood in it, similar to the Spitter in Left 4 Dead 2. I always love that mechanic where the damage, the longer you're in it, it ramps up over time, so you're forced to reposition. If you do it quickly, then you're not really in much danger, but if you have to stay there, then suddenly you're having issues. That's how I think that a stealth hero will go. I imagine it's going to be more utility, less damage. It could be damage. If it is damage based, then fine. But, I mean, I like stealth in games. I don't mind it. I was the kind of person, though, that leveled an assassination rogue in World of Warcraft. Like, I was the person who actually leveled using ambush and backstab. Like, I was that arsehole. So my opinion might be very different to other people's. I like it. I think it's a strategic element of the game that needs to be explored. I know a lot of people don't like stealth, however. I know a lot of people don't like stealth in a lot of other games and a lot of other genres. And thinking of first-person shooter as well, that it could be kind of dicey. What I imagine as well, by the way, is that if you do have a stealth hero, then Widowmaker's ult becomes even better because, well, no one can hide from her sight. Anyway, thanks for watching to the end, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about stealth, how it could be implemented, how it could work in Overwatch. Personally, I'm excited to see what Blizzard can do. I have faith in them. Like, they've made a bunch of fun heroes so far. I think the only exception really is Mei, but Mei has her place, and I don't mind it too much. Anyway, toodles. Oh, and Winston. Fuck Winston.